CAPS Basics, Part 1.
The Class Automated Proposal System, or CAPS, is an area in Spire where you can see the proposed and requested parameters and structure of classes within your department. It is where academic departments plan details of courses and submit requests to the registrar for approval. Navigate to Course Maintenance, CAPS Manage Classes. At the search screen, a term is required, and adding just a subject will list all classes for that subject and term. In the upper right side of the search screen, there is a box titled New Course Requests. The options there will be inactive with view-only access. Back at the main search screen, if you want to narrow down your search hits, consider using some of these other fields. CAPS status indicates where in the process the section is, with the registrar's scheduling staff, RSS, or with the department's scheduling rep, DSR. The options in the drop-down list are alphabetized, but in terms of real-time changes, it is like a ping-pong match between department and registrar. Not started? This is the beginning state of all the new sections. The paddles are in hand and the ball is active, but the DSR has the ball in their court. Pending department. A section becomes pending the moment some change has been saved. In other words, it means that the DSR is working on the section. The ball is being fiddled with, but has not been served. Submitted. This state denotes that the DSR has selected the Submit button, which in effect sends the proposed changes to the RSS for review and some action. In other words, the ball has gone over the net, successful serve. Department action is when the RSS has sent a section back to the DSR with some questions or comments. The registrar has expertly returned. And processed is when the request has been completed by the RSS and the section is done for now. End of match, but possibly more to come. The To-Do field is used to either show items requiring action from the department or the registrar. If term and subject are included, for example, and To-Do equals registrar, then what will show are all on-process sections awaiting registrar action. In other words, the CAPS status should all be submitted. Note, entering DSR in the To-Do field, for example, will show class records that have not started yet. Courses will show that are currently being reviewed by the department scheduling rep. In this case, it could be that the department scheduling rep has a question that has not been answered yet. Flags and routes are typically used by the registrar's office, but could also be used by the department scheduler to tag sections for more precise searches. For example, if you want to make sure to return to it in the future for some reason. The flag is basically a binary choice, yes or no. The route is any 3-character string. For example, you could check the department flag box in the main details area of this section, and then when the search is done for classes flagged in this way, make sure that the search field is marked yes. The resulting search hits will include just those classes with a positive department flag. In this image, a positive department flag is indicated by a checked checkbox. Results could be further filtered by including a department rep. This may be helpful if you want not just a binary yes or no choice, but something more specific. As previously discussed, whereas the CAPS status indicates which court the ball is in, or the overall phase the course or section is in, the class status indicates the availability of the section. A equals active. Students can register for this class until the capacity is reached. X equals canceled. Cannot be found in class search and not available for registration. Could be reactivated by the department if desired.
D is for delete. This option is not showing in the image here in this video because it is after the first day of the term. It indicates that the course is marked for removal from Spire. Delete is usually used when a section has been added by mistake. In other words, when in doubt, cancel.
T equals tentative. All new sections start as tentative until approved by the registrar and may be planned to be offered but do not appear in the class search results. S equals stop further enrollment. These classes may have been active during the most recent enrollment period but are no longer available. Sections marked S will no longer be returned in the class search and are not available for registration. This is frequently used as a temporary state while students are removed from the section. Element weighting refers to the specific details in the class. An element can be the room capacity, instructor name, grading basis, etc. And elements can have their own state, the caps or element state, which can be the following. Weighting. A change, or add or delete, is waiting for RSS action. Accepted. A change was made by the RSS. Overridden. A different change was made by the RSS. Denied. No change was made. Accept manual. Change was made by the RSS using PeopleSoft pages, not caps. Once the search fields have been entered and the search button selected, a list of all matching classes is returned. At this point, one can collapse all or expand all to show or hide some of the summarized details. For example, this is a basic search with only term and subject, returning 17 classes all expanded. When collapse all is chosen, only the gray header shows.